Again, we're going over to Randy's kitchen again, but this time for a beautiful roasted beet salad. So here's what you're going to need to follow along. Small red golden beets, yogurt, honey, turmeric, cashews, harissa, white balsamic vinegar, extra virgin olive oil, chives, salt, and pepper. And Randy, you tell me that you and Catherine have been eating a lot of salads lately. Very good for you.
We've been trying, you know, it's always that January when you got to make new decisions and new resolutions. And listen, I'm not about like jumping overboard, just like little bit at a time. And so we kind of thought we'd do 7 days of salads. So we filmed 7 days of salads. We put it out on social media. Everyone seemed to enjoy it. They didn't see behind the scenes where we were eating other things. So that's okay. It's sometimes about the perception of things, Tracy. But one of the more beautiful salads was like the roasted beet salad. I think beets are kind of underrated because they're a beautiful vegetable. They're really easy to work with, and they're always like in the middle of the winter, they're still like super fresh and fantastic, right? So you can buy a bag of these heirloom beets for like $3, and they come like red and pink and golden. Now you want to be careful with the red ones because those are the ones that make a mess of your kitchen, right? Instead of boiling them up and doing that kind of stuff, we're just going to throw them in some tin foil, a little bit of olive oil, and then wrap them up. This is a secret. You wrap them up as tight as you can. You want to buy that expensive tin foil. You know you made it in life when you get that thick tin foil, you know that stuff? You make sure you have that, and then you roast that for like an hour and 10 minutes. They're going to steam themselves, and you're going to come out gorgeous. So now we've got these beets that are going to come out gorgeous, and we need kind of some kind of healthy sidekick for them. So we want a bit of spice, so I've got some cashews here, and they're just dry, they're kind of plain, and I'm just going to actually break them up with my fingers like this to get a little bit of texture. You know, you think you have to use your knife all the time because it's there, but you don't. Just kind of snap them in your fingers like that, toss them in, and then I put a little bit of harissa in there, which is a Middle Eastern spice, fantastic, and then we're just going to give it some temperature and kind of give it some color. Now, let's talk about a base. We could have went sour cream, but because it's January and we're being a little bit healthier, we've got some plain yogurt here. Make sure you get the thicker stuff, so either the Greek or the Icelandic. And then I've got a little bit of honey that's going to go in here. And then my favorite ingredient of the entire salad is next, Tracy. And I don't know if you see this very much, but right now it's in grocery stores everywhere. 2 years ago, you couldn't find it anywhere. Do you know what that is, Trace?
No, I can't see through my monitor. What is that?
That is it kind of looks like ginger.
Oh, it's ginger. Is it ginger?
And you see it in the stores everywhere. No, it's not ginger.
Turmeric.
It's a cousin of ginger. It's turmeric, right? And once again, it's going to stain your kitchen too, so be careful. But get yourself a microplane and just zest it in fresh. Now, this stuff is like vibrant tasting. It's kind of like this orangey thing, but it's actually extremely healthy for you. Lots of antioxidants in there, and it's got a lot of like pick-me-ups apparently. Like if you just eat a little bit of this, you don't have to drink one of those Red Bulls. It'll give you the same amount of wings. So we got some honey in there, a little bit of turmeric, and then we're just gonna like give it the onions and kind of whisk it up. And you'd be surprised how a little bit of turmeric changes the color of that yogurt like immensely. So we're gonna let that one sit. Now, because we're doing salads, we're going to get into an olive oil kind of thing here, where every basic vinaigrette comes to 3 to 1 with your vinegar, right? So this is a white balsamic. It kind of looks a little bit darker, but it's not black, so it's almost like a sherry vinegar. So if we have 1 part vinegar, we're going to go 3 parts extra virgin olive oil. So the best way to do this is in a narrow container like this. So you can kind of see it, stack it up there like, you know, one of those shots you do in the bars. You want 1 part whiskey and then the other part like the Kahlua or something like that. That makes sense to you. And then all I'm going to do is, for a little bit of color, chiffonade up some chives like this. And so we kind of did this almost in real time, Trace, other than the roasting of the beets. But the presentation on this is like simply wow. So what we're going to do is we get our turmeric yogurt. We hit the plate like this. Right? And then all we're going to do is this fancy
little smoosh.
Like that, right? We've got our beets that we roasted off. We just cut those up nicely into little cubes, right? And you'll see now like the different colors are really going to make a big difference here.
Lovely.
Kind of put those in like that, right? And this is a perfect starter. You could build it up for a main course too if you wanted, but it's going to be something you could do way ahead of time and impress your guests. And then we hit it with Our dark toasted spicy cashews go in.
Wow.
Right? We give our vinaigrette a bit of a stir, and in it over it goes.
It is beautiful, and it is on our website. Randy, it looks so good. Cityline.tv for that website, for that recipe. And I'm going to say this: it's a salad, but you plated it in a way that made it exciting, and I think that's what we need to do so we can get into the veggies again.